Hey everybody, welcome to the Stock Car Spectacle. I'm Ian Jordan.
And I'm Tom Hovland.
And we got a lot to unpack here on today's episode. A lot of big stories hit Twitter today, and they just got done racing in New Hampshire, and we're heading to Daytona for the regular season finale for the Cup Series and the O'Reilly Series. But let's get into our diecast of the week. Tom, what you got for us today, buddy?
It's not the right year, but there's a video going around of that black number 3 car when they first put in the lights at Daytona. And so I thought I'd pull out the even older black number 3 car, the Lumina. Just you think of Dale when you think of going to Daytona and old school racing. So this was the surprise at the end of the Lionel Advent calendar.
Oh,
nice.
nice.
It was a cool piece. I was shocked, frankly, to see it.
Yeah, dude, that's a great piece right there.
For sure.
All right, well, you and me had the same idea when cars head to Daytona. Got to think of Dale Earnhardt, man. It's just
hey, you have the right one.
Yeah, the man in black, the car he won the Daytona 500 in right here. I've had this diecast ever since I was a little kid, and this is just very, very precious to me right here. And Dale Earnhardt, he is the man of Daytona.
He really is. I mean, it was just always impressive, and it still is impressive to go back and see what he does on the track. So
yeah, he was able to see the air. He was able to win everything but the 500 until 1998. So very, very cool. But let's get into our top stories here. And the big one is the Truck Series is changing title sponsors once again. I feel like this has been a reoccurring theme every 2 or 3 years. The Truck Series is changing title sponsors, and it's going to be FedEx Freight as the title sponsor for the series. And one thing to note, FedEx Freight and FedEx are completely two different companies now, supposedly. FedEx Freight has gone independent, so don't expect it to be called the FedEx Truck Series.
So it's the Freight Truck Series, the FedEx.
Freight Truck Series sounds pretty cool, honestly.
The F, you know how they always support it, so it's going to be the FTS. That's a mouthful.
Yeah,
it's going to get
FTS
shortened
rules.
to FedEx.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to call them the FedEx trucks. Maybe we'll get a great commercial of actual FedEx trucks racing each other. But I mean, it's still related. Like, I know Jordan Bianchi said they're not the same company, but they're still related, right?
Yeah, I mean,
somehow
they're related, but I guess like last year or so, FedEx Freight went independent from FedEx, so who knows how it's gonna go down. But I did see someone comment that we do need a FedEx truck as the pace truck for the Truck Series next year.
Oh, that would be easy money. See that thing tip over on the banks of Daytona?
Hell yeah. It'd be like NASCAR 2005 when you were able to race as the UPS truck.
Yeah. That one's sitting right next to me here.
Hell yeah. There you go. All right, and the 2027 schedule is officially out today, and there's been some changes. There's been some tracks that are staying, some surprises, and the big one is that NASCAR is heading back to Coronado Base in San Diego. I think that's great. It was a fun road course, very, very exciting, and we get to have racing back in Southern California.
Yeah, I think another aspect of them going back to San Diego is the announcement that said they're working on another military base for 2028. So that might be the theme, and that might be where the street course kind of finds its home, because you have all these bases all over the country. They're in or close to metro areas where you can get people to come out to them, but you're not disrupting the life of everyday citizens and whatnot. So that might be the happy medium. For me personally, I don't know if that's a big draw. Like, I'm not particularly one to want to go see the big boats and airplanes and whatnot. And I know that's a big selling point, and it's just they're gonna prop up the Americana and the USA of it all, which is, again, that's the identity I'm not going to be shy to that, but it's not going to draw me out to go see it. It might be cool to see once. It will be cool in that aspect to be guaranteed a new road course every couple of years, a new layout, something new for us to go watch. And these bases you can spread out. There can be some dead space, some offline, some off track stuff that can happen just because you're on a military base. You can spread the walls apart. You don't have to be confined into the streets like you were in Chicago.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I mean, we know that NASCAR runs deep with red, white, and blue, and I feel like the best way to celebrate it is at the military base with the people that do protect us. I mean, we saw the reaction from the soldiers and just everyone that was working on the base. They loved it. They enjoyed it.
Yeah,
They got to see race cars go by, a race where they work hard, and it was really really cool experience for all those. I know the fan experience kind of sucked just with getting to the
right.
track. There's no parking on Coronado Island and all this, and a lot of people had to walk. So hopefully they'll kind of learn from that and make it a little bit easier for the fan experience next year. But yeah, like you said, I think it's
Yeah.
cool. They're trying out different tracks. They're already eyeballing different, Navy and Army bases that they want to go to in the future. They're already talking to the White House and everything about that. So pretty cool.
Yeah, and I feel like it invoked a similar feeling for those sailors out there that it did for us when it came to Chicago and you're downtown Chicago. I mean, when I was sitting here in that race, I still remember like looking up at the skyline, like waiting for the race to start or something, or maybe it was like one of the first laps. You see the cars come around again. There weren't a lot for a while, and you just kind of get distracted by the sights of the city and whatnot, and you'd hear the rumble, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm at a NASCAR race right now. Like so I understand that that feeling, and again, I think the street race is a cool thing and something they can move around, and the partnership with the military, I think, can be good for NASCAR to give them those spaces, like I said, where it's less intrusive to the everyday person, but the everyday person can then still get to it if it's close enough. Because these things are everywhere.
Yeah, no doubt. And I mean, it's just been fun racing ever since we introduced street course racing. Chicago was an absolute hit. San Diego was an absolute hit this year too.
St. Pete with the trucks was really good. It
Yeah,
was a
and they're
great
going
race
back next year too with the trucks, so
for sure.
that's going to be exciting for them. Um, I did see trucks are going to be at Bowman Gray next year as
Mhm.
well. There's going to be that's going to
It's
be the
going to be
only
a mess.
NASCAR race for Bowman Gray, which is good. I feel like because I don't think NASCAR really needs to be at that track.
I think the Clash was great for Bowman Gray, other than the fact that the Clash is in February.
Yeah.
So if we can do something like that, put the All Star race at Bowman for whatever reason. But the thing that I'm going to look at as the greater picture of the schedule next year is the distribution of the road courses. I think there's only 4 on the schedule, and so for people like us who enjoy watching SVG, BSVG, less frequent to see him do that. But also, it's only 3 in the regular season. The Glen moves back to the Chase, which
Thank
I think
God.
for a schedule distribution standpoint, you need the Chase to represent. You need it to be a microcosm of your regular season.
Yeah.
And so, like this year, if it's half intermediate tracks and no road courses, what are the point of running the 4 or 5 road courses earlier in the season? But I don't think Shane Van Gisbergen is going to be set up to be even in the position he's in now, 16th in points, and begging to get in if he doesn't have those road courses to fall back on.
Yeah.
But he didn't win Coda or San Diego. So
Yeah. I was gonna say he got wrecked out in 2 of those races, and he's still eyeballing a chase spot. I know he's only like 29 points ahead, but still, he's had way better season than anybody thought he was going to. Nobody thought that he was going to come out here and get a couple top tens on some ovals.
for sure. So I mean, I think that's a overarching storyline to be looking for um, with the season. But I think overall it looks fine. I mean, there's the commentary. It's just there's no like big new thing. Every new thing is an old thing
Yeah.
that we used to, like the Clash at Daytona, and we're going back to Coronado. There's the going back to Canadian Tire and the trucks.
So excited about that.
But
That's my favorite
we,
road course.
it's a good one and it's beautiful. But we've been kind of spoiled, like we've gotten Bristol Dirt, LA Coliseum, all these street races and whatnot, all these new things. They went to Mexico City. Like they've been very ambitious, and I think it's brought in some new fans. And now I think they're trying to find the balance of the going back to their roots. But it's hard. They're kind of playing both sides. You're going to pull in the new fans. You ostracize the old fans. You try to lean back to the old fans, and the new fans are like, "Whoa, wait, what about all the cool stuff you were doing that brought me in?" So they're kind of walking a tightrope right now, I feel.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I love everything that they have for the schedule. I like Richmond being the first race of the chase and Darlington ending the regular season. Phoenix is Phoenix also the fourth to last race this year, or is that the second to
Um,
last? Because it's I feel like they moved it because now
Phoenix
it's next year's.
Phoenix is before Talladega. We finished Phoenix, Dega, Martinsville, Homestead.
Okay, so it's still the same lineup of
Yeah.
those last few races there.
So what race or races got kicked out of the chase? I guess Darlington, with the way that stuff had to fall
Yeah.
this year. Is Darlington the second race of the chase?
Mm, no, Darlington is it's the last race of the regular season
Oh, it's the finale.
next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because everything moved back a week because the Super Bowl moved back a week again.
Right.
Ridiculous. They need to stop that.
Yeah, but I think besides that everything looks pretty pretty normal here. I wish that Bristol was in the chase though. That is one thing I wish.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Bristol ends up what's the first race of, but that I remember the discussion of that. It's like it the later it was worse for their ticket sales because of Tennessee Volunteer football.
true.
So
Yeah.
I believe that's again another one of those things that kind of went back to its original spot was Bristol Night at that point in the season in mid to early August.
Yeah,
So
it makes sense.
you'd like to see the Bristol Night Race have the prestige of mattering more in when it comes to the chase, but also you want the race itself to survive and people to show up and fill those massive grandstands. So I think this will be a good spot for them. They don't have to fight with Friday night football, Saturday football, and get those fans in the seats.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, then last bit of news: Austin Hill. I mean, no surprise here. He will be running the 33 full time at RCR next season. It kind of seems like it was their only choice to go to. So that means that the two cars in the O'Reilly series for RCR are open, and that will be Chandler Smith. He will be driving. I think he will be in the 21, and Carson Brown will be
Yeah,
in the 2 car. Both full time drivers in the O'Reilly series for RCR. So great opportunity for Chandler Smith and Carson Brown. This kid's 18 years old. He's only ran like a handful of ARCA races. He's looked pretty good in the late models as well. So they're taking a chance on this kid, and he could be something big. Who knows?
yeah. I'm excited to see that they're developing their own guys again and kind of starting that route again. Chandler Smith, um, only 24 years old. I feel like he's been here for a decade already.
Honestly,
But he has success in a lot of cars he gets into, and the RCR O'Reilly program is still a great program. So I think that's a good hire. Chandler probably brings a little bit of funding to them too, which they'll want because Austin Hill is going to take his funding to the Cup Series. And then so they've got a pay driver, they got their Cup driver, and they got a guy to develop who maybe is going to be the long term goal for the 33 car. I don't know. Any other year, and RCR announces they're moving Austin Hill to Cup, you're like, huh, that's an interesting move. But with obviously the way that this year played out, Austin's doing fine, I guess. But man,
he's gonna be a filler driver for a little bit until
yeah,
Carson
yeah.
Brown is ready for Cup.
Like I know there was talk. It never felt realistic to me. The Josh Berry talk. Um, even when the reports that the contract negotiations were kind of stalling with Austin Hill, but it's tough to see a driver like Josh Berry, especially with the run he's on now, going to go without a ride, and they put Austin Hill in there, who I would argue isn't going to be much better in the Cup car than Josh Berry. And the Josh Berry discussion is its own thing because, yes, he's a good driver. He's talented. He's got a race win. But I still don't think this run of 4 races completely erases his past performance.
No.
Like, the big one for me was that he got that team into the final year of the playoffs. And then in the first round, he didn't even finish a stage 1 in those 3 races. Sometimes he didn't even finish more than 1 lap in those races. And like, those are glaring faults. I'm sure he's talented. I trust Dale Jr.'s eye for talent. And I'm sure he deserves a ride. But if he's not going to go pay for a ride in the lower series, we're just not going to watch Josh Berry race on the national circuit anymore.
Yeah.
Which, again, is a shame because he's successful and he's good. But I wish they could have explored Josh Berry to the 33, even if it wasn't ultimately realistic. And maybe it wasn't. Maybe that was the Cup team he went to that they asked him for $3 million to have the ride. Well, I don't know if that'll ever come out because Josh Berry's not like that. He's not going to just go throw people under the bus like that. But I don't think Austin Hill is going to last too long in that car until they have a chance to come around and sign somebody else. Maybe they convince Bowman to come race that car for a little bit. Maybe they sign another hotshot. Maybe they call Jesse Love back somehow. I don't know. But it's just odd that they would want to put all their eggs in the Austin Hill basket right now, but maybe they're not.
Yeah, I just think with Jesse Love moving on, Austin Hill kind of in that spot already with taking over for Kyle Busch and everything. He's more used to the Cup cars at this point. It's like, hey, might as well just give the kid a head start, see what he can do, and if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I mean, right now they're in just such a tight spot with, the death of Kyle Busch and everything. It's just, what can you do?
Historically, you have to think of the comparison to 2001. And
not everyone's Kevin Harvick, though, man.
Exactly. No, nobody's Kevin Harvick. And Austin Hill is included in not being Kevin Harvick. And it's just, it's hard to watch. The team was already struggling, right? But it felt like right before Charlotte, they were building some positive momentum in that team.
Yeah.
And the wind has just completely left their sails. And Austin Hill is not going to be the driver that pumps those sails up again. There's not going to bring momentum. He's not going to have the experience that Kyle brought. He's not going to have the knowledge, even if he's been racing in the O'Reilly series and NASCAR for years and years. He's not Kevin Harvick. And that's all I can think about is that the best way to get this team back on track is to go out and win and uplift the team and uplift the shop and uplift the company. And they're making this safe choice with Austin Hill. I think they're like, well, he's been here, he's been good to us. It's the safe choice. And I don't know. Maybe that I'm a bit jaded as my driver was taken away, and the guy who replaced him is Austin Hill. I don't know, but it's tough.
Yeah, I mean, I can't.
It's tough for everybody.
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy just to see how much, like you said, they were building up so much momentum. They finally had like all their eggs in a basket for this 8 team and the 3 car, and then just poof, gone just like that. And yeah, I feel like it's going to be hard for RCR to recover, because we've seen them kind of consistently win the past 3-4 years ever since Kyle Busch came around. Kyle got those 3 wins in 23, and Austin Dillon, he's kind of like a 1 win a year kind of guy, and he was just kind of building up morale in RCR, and it's just all kind of it's just gone. It just feels like a whole new team now, to be honest.
One of the most frustrating parts of, obviously there was a lot of frustrating parts about Kyle passing away and a lot of emotional parts and whatnot, but just the unfinished business aspect of it still haunts me, quite frankly. And not that it's now Austin Hill's job to go finish that business or uplift that team. And frankly, like, look at me, I'm still like, I'm wearing this Toyota JGR stuff because that's the team I was cheering for and always kind of fall back to because Kyle was on it. I'm not an RCR fan. I was really never an RCR fan, but I was a Kyle fan, and I'd like to see that team have success because that means Kyle would be having success. But like, there's nothing pulling me towards there, so I don't know, frankly, why I feel so strongly about how RCR does.
Well, I mean, yeah,
But
it's your
but
driver's
like,
former car.
you
I get
still
it.
want that car to go out and be successful, and it's just you. It's not going to carry on the legacy that Kyle held.
Yeah.
Which again, we say nobody's Kevin Harvick, nobody's Kyle Busch.
No,
So,
nobody will ever be Kyle
so
Busch. That's for
yeah,
sure.
that's the tough part about all this too. So I don't know. Maybe I'm still a bit in denial about all of it, but
I get
it's
it.
just I feel like they're making a safe choice, and that's fine because they've gone through a ton as a company.
Yeah,
And then
safe is
who's
the best
available?
option right now. Yeah.
Who's available? All these guys are locked down for years and years, and like, look, now the theme seems to be recently you're signing guys a year and a half out. What do you do when your driver dies? Like, you can't just go pick up the next hotshot free agent.
Right.
And you got to plan for this, and nobody can plan for a freak accident and death. So it's just tough.
Yeah, it's real tough,
But
man.
good for RCR to set their lineup. They got a good crop of young drivers there, and I think, frankly, what's Nick Carson Brown? He
Hmm.
can he can be up in the Cup Series pretty shortly, whether he's in the 33 or whatever number they replace the 3 with when Austin decides to go run his bull riding company full time.
Yeah, I mean the future is it's looking bright right now for RCR with the kind of talent that they just hired.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, how about we get into New Hampshire from this past weekend? And yeah, it was
It's a good weekend.
a fun weekend in New Hampshire. Usually, this
Yeah,
is my least favorite track. I'm always like, this is gonna be a boring one, but Trucks put on a show. Cup Series put on a hell of a show.
it's a
And
good
I
race.
was just very satisfied with this weekend. I never usually say this after New Hampshire.
Yeah, it's one of those tracks that's like, oh well, we're always going to New Hampshire. People like it for whatever reason, but I mean, they're talking on the broadcast about how one time Jeff Burton of all people led all 301 laps of the race. And it's just like, how is that exciting to anybody? But again, they figured it out. And again, before we get into anything, just kudos to NASCAR because not only did we not have to sit through 2 hours of rain fill while they dry the track, they got them out racing and they put on a show.
Yeah,
And I know I'm jumping ahead of the trucks, but it's just, again, it's great what NASCAR's been able to do with the rain program in our lifetime.
yeah. I mean, only like the past what 6 years or so that they've been doing rain, maybe even less than that. That we've been doing the rain
Yeah.
tire at this point. It's been incredible, except for Coda the first year. But I mean, we learned from
Well,
that.
again, every time they do it, they learn a little bit more, and we got to keep that in mind. There have been complaints about how certain stuff was managed even this weekend. But we got to learn. It's just like we still haven't done this very often, and there's still more to learn and more they're going to get comfortable with the more we do it.
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about our big winners from New Hampshire in the Truck Series. And Lane Riggs, he's the biggest winner out of the weekend, getting his 6th win of the season. This guy has just been on fire this year. It just does not look like he's slowing down at all.
No, he's not. I mean, he's good. He's kind of got that. Again, nobody's going to have the season that Corey Heim had last year, but he's got that idea with him that like most places you're going to go, whether it's a big old road course or a little flat mile long track in New Hampshire, he's going to be around. He's going to be there up at the front and contending, and that's especially in this points format. That is what a championship driver is going to do.
Yeah. See, he's consistent at every single track that we go to. I mean, he's turned into the road course guy, the short track guy, and the everything guy at this point. Lane Riggs is, who knows, he could be the next big thing. Develop him a little bit more in the truck series, and who knows, maybe he'll be running for, hopefully not front row motorsports in the future, because they have just kind of tanked this year. And
But
they got
they're
drivers
also on the
locked
up
up.
and up.
Yeah,
Noah Gragson, top 10.
yeah, I mean Noah Gregson. Yeah, I mean we're really getting ahead of ourselves right now with the Cup Series, but Noah Gregson's been having a phenomenal run these past few weeks.
Exactly.
It seems
he
like
signs a contract, pressure's off, suddenly he can go out and drive again.
Yeah, right. So looking good in that 4 car, that's for sure.
But I mean, again, front row has never been the top team, but we see drivers come up and have success with their truck teams, and it gives these guys other opportunities to go somewhere else. And Ford doesn't have a crazy good development program next, so you'd think, frankly, thinking back on it, Jesse Love to the 21, the Wood brothers, is kind of surprising. They pull a Chevy guy from RCR instead of pulling this guy who's already driving for Ford up to the Cup Series. So a little bit surprising, but again, Ford puts themselves in position here to maybe lose another top talent in Lane Riggs.
Yeah, I mean they very well could. Because I'm sure the next couple of years. I mean, I'm sure right
Where's he gonna
now.
go?
Where's he gonna go? But I know that teams are just eyeballing him right now, looking at some contracts that might be coming up here, and saying like, hey, maybe we could sign Lane Riggs here in a couple of years or so, hoping if no one else gets their hands on him.
And if I'm Lane Riggs, I'm not itching to go to the O'Reilly series either.
No, why would you?
I mean, you see Carson Hocevar go straight from trucks to Cup and have success. Who else is doing that? It's just and on the opposite side, O'Reilly series, like Connor Zilic wins 10 races and then shows up and lays an egg every single week.
Yeah.
So like the O'Reilly series is not the path to the Cup series anymore. It feels kind of weird. So if I'm Lane, run it back in the 34 next year and see what seats are open. Because obviously Ford's not itching to keep you around, so you feel like he's got his prospects wide open.
Yeah, it'd be the smart thing to do. All right, and our other big winners from New Hampshire. How about Daniel Hemrick, Ben Rhodes, and Tyler Ankrum holding on and clinching a chase spot? Good for them. They all had good runs there inside the top 20 and able to hold it in, and now they're going to be running for a championship this year.
Yeah, it was very compelling with all those late race cautions there to kind of see how the points were shaken out. And, unfortunately, Stuart Friesen coming out on the back end of that, he kind of had to make the aggressive pit call, take less tires, stay out, and he just could not hang on to the position. And that's a hard thing for a driver to do.
Yeah, I mean,
to get up there and hold those positions, but
it just sucks. Stuart Friesen, top 5, but he did not make it into the chase. Yeah. I mean, it just shows you got to be consistent throughout the entire season, not just one race anymore.
Individually, Stuart Friesen's season, I don't think is a loss. For him to come back from his wreck he had and still be as competitive as he was this season, I don't think it's anything to hang your head upon. So good for Stuart. But yeah, Tyler Ankrum figures it out. It looked a little scary for him with his brake issues. I'm sure he didn't. We're calling him a big winner of the weekend, but I'm sure it felt like absolute dog shit to sit in that car and kind of feel like you're not in control. I mean, they were saying he's usually like 2 laps or 2 seconds off the pace most of the time. That's got to be very uncomfortable. Plus the feeling that maybe you're going to drive straight onto the wall because your car's not going to stop one of these times. So really tough day for him, but he toughed it out and he made it work. So props.
Yeah, he did. All right, so looking at our points standings going into the chase for the Truck Series, Lane Riggs is your number 1 seed, and then we got Caden Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, Christian Eckes, Gio Ruggiero, Ty Majeski, Grant Enfinger, Daniel Hemrick, Ben Rhodes, and Tyler Ankrum. That is your top 10 in the trucks for the chase for the Cup, and that all begins at Bristol Motor Speedway coming up here in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really only looking at maybe those top 4 guys to go out and be as consistent. Like, I feel like I haven't seen the 17 truck all year. But Christian Eckes, I don't think he has the equipment to actually do it, but he's way outrunning his equipment, which is really impressive. But I think it's going to come down to the 34, between the 34 and the 38. Uh, and Caden might be finishing third. That's going to be my guess.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That's just my prediction. I think Lane is going to win the championship. I think followed by Chandler and then followed by Caden. That's my blind guess here.
Okay, I like it. All right, so congrats to Lane Riggs on getting that sixth
And
win.
in general, I'm so excited to watch the chase and not have to talk about the back half of the playoff guys or whatever. We're going to talk about who's out there going to get the points and who's going to get eliminated. We're going to talk maybe once Tyler Ankrum falls out of mathematical elimination, but it's going to be like, oh, well, yeah, Tyler Ankrum can't win the championship anymore, even if everybody crashes. He didn't have enough points. Like that'll be a one-off comment instead of like every week be like, oh, who's going to get knocked out?
Right.
So it's going to be who is going out there to get these points, who is going out there to get to the top of the hill first, and I'm gonna love that. We're gonna make heroes again in this sport.
No more eliminations. No more winning. You're in the next round. It is just strictly points. Oh, I love
run.
it.
And I'm realizing more and more these days, especially with the added bonuses for the wins. These guys get out of the car and they're like, they're not satisfied with not winning, but like a good point stay can still mean a lot of things, and they can still go out there and fight and get those points. And as a viewer, I'm personally not disappointed when somebody finishes fourth. And they're like, yeah, you know what? This is a good point stay for us. We came out there, we fought, we battled, and we got it done. And that was one of the biggest like I don't know, arguments against coming back to a system like this, where they're like, nobody wants to hear a guy get out of the car and say it was a good point stay. It's like they were still out there battling. These are drivers, these are competitors. They're going to go out and try to win and get the best that they can.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, let's look at the Cup Series from New Hampshire, and we had quite a few big winners here. Blaney getting that win, second in the points right now, one race before the chase starts here. Bubba Wallace, P2, sitting 14th in the standings. He's not locked in, but he is 75 points above the cutoff line going into Daytona. So he's just got to have an average day, got to make sure no one below the cutoff line does really, really great. But right now, I don't know why they're not locking Bubba, and I feel like that 75 points is kind of hard to get rid of.
Well, because if Bubba wrecks in stage one, and then I don't know, Ryan Preece goes and wins the races and wins it's so ridiculous what has to happen to knock Bubba out. But technically, he can still gain 1 point, and technically, Ryan Preece can still gain 76 points.
It's true.
And send somebody out. So it's kind of weird, but Bubba's got to go. I think what Bubba needs to do is be aggressive in stage one. You know, everybody's going to be kind of laying back. They're all going to want to make it to the end. You just go drive up to the front and go get your 5-6 stage points, and look, you're locked in after stage one. Then you can just hang back and race and try to go be there at the end. So I think Bubba's in a great spot. Not the season you want to have, especially with all the success your teammates had, but over the summer, 23-11 in a whole has kind of fallen off. And Bubba's team hasn't always been the most consistent. So good for him to not have so much pressure coming on to the end of the regular season.
Yeah, no doubt. It's a pretty comfortable lead above the cutoff line that he's got. Josh Berry, P3. I mean, we're talking about how he's been having a pretty decent run ever since they announced that Jesse Love's going to be in that car. So good for him, just trying to build up his resume for a job for next season.
I think it's too little too late.
Too little too late, yep.
It's a good run. Apparently he's got an average finish of like 2.8 at New Hampshire in the Cup Series.
Nice.
Even when he was running for SHR. So really good for him. You know he wants that win. A win would have done wonders for him. I still don't think a win this late in his Cup career, I say it like it's ending, but we don't know that for sure. I just don't think a win this late is going to erase all the other stuff that he's done. And I know he's in the wood. I know he's not the best equipment, but it's still tough.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's got to
But
be tough with
but
everything
it's still got
going
to
on.
feel good. It's still got to feel good to run up front. And he was up there the whole time. He was competitive. So it's not like he backed his way into this one or anything. So good on you, Josh Berry. Good run.
Yeah, really, really good run. I don't think we'll see him back in the Cup Series, but who knows? This could land him a truck ride or a O'Reilly ride somewhere down the road. Or he's always got the late models to fall back to with Dale Jr.
For sure, for sure. And he's crew chiefing for Dale Jr. He's doing all that stuff. I'm sure he'll find a spot. And Dale really likes him. I think Dale will find a place for him somewhere.
Yeah, he'll still have a life in racing.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then Tyler Reddick P8 after having a pretty wild race for that 45 car. I mean, he's just
Weekend for him.
yeah. He had trouble in practice and qualifying, and then in the race, and still able to manage a P8. But man, it like you said, 2311 has just been having a rough summer, except for Corey Heim. He's been on top of the world with 2311. But the 45-23 have been struggling. We've noticed it with Reddick kind of dropping slowly in the standings. But, I mean, he's still fourth in the standings. He had an amazing start to this season. So it's nice that he's been able to kind of fall back on that a little bit with the struggles he's been having.
For sure. I mean, he the insurance that he built up for himself in the beginning of the season. It's still fascinating to me that everybody's talking about how there's no way anybody else could lead the regular season. Now he's sitting fourth. It's the importance of having success and winning. And I mean, he's had a couple DNFs lately, and he almost if he spins the wrong way at New Hampshire and he junks it against the wall, it's another early exit in these late round races. But good recovery for sure to come back and get that top 10 finish for him. He needed it. He needed a quiet day, and he still didn't quite have one.
Yeah. Ryan Preece, P9, getting him closer to that Chase cutoff line. Like I said earlier, he's only 29 points below it, chasing Shane Van Gisbergen at Daytona. So it should be interesting for those two. I mean, we know Ryan Preece is pretty damn good at these short tracks, especially New Hampshire, because he always runs the modified races there every year too. So that was a perfect race for him to get closer to the chase.
He's got to just keep all four tires on the ground now at Daytona, which has been tough for him, unfortunately. I don't think he's another in more microcosm too little too late here for him. And that 25-point penalty that we're all still not sure he did anything wrong to earn that penalty is looming large over his head right now.
Yeah.
You hear it in his interviews. They're like, "Oh, what do you think you can make it? Do you think you can make it?" He goes, "I think I can make the owner's points." Like he knows too. He knows, and that's got to sting a little bit. But he knows that the owner's points make the money. He knows he's got a job next year, even if he doesn't have a charter next year, and he's going to keep on running. So he's a hardcore dude. I think he'll give it his best. I don't see a world where he can get out there and overcome this gap to the cut line.
Yeah, I mean, it's Daytona. Anything could happen. Yeah. So, I mean, like you said, he's just got to keep all four tires on the ground because when you look up Ryan Preece Daytona, the highlights are not looking good for him. So, I know he said in an interview he wants to change that and make it into burnouts.
The highlights are that his car went the highest off the ground.
Yeah,
highlights.
That was the highlights. All right, and then Noah Gragson, P10, we said that earlier. He's been trending upward ever since he re-signed his contract. So, looking good for Front Row Motorsports right now.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just his last few finishes have been, frankly, quite good. 17, 18, 10. So he's working his way up.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I think a lot of it has to do with the pressure being off of him. So, why not?
Yeah, we got to remember a lot of racing is the mental of the drivers. So if someone is in that kind of situation, yeah, you're gonna see them run pretty poorly, and ever since he got that monkey off his back, man, he has been looking lights out.
For sure. And like you just think about it in general, like the team that Front Row is and how the Cup Series is kind of structured. You think you got Gibbs, you got Hendrick, you got Penske, so that takes care of the first 12 cars, 11 cars, maybe throw 2311 in there. So a lot of these cars should not be finishing top 15. That's a great day if they can get up into that bubble for
Absolutely.
anybody else out of there.
Yeah, man. All right, we'll dig into our big lose from New Hampshire, and we had Shane Van Gisbergen with a P20, and like I said, 29 points above the cutoff line. We're looking for maybe a little bit better race. We know he's been looking pretty stout on these short tracks as of late, so not the kind of performance you wanted to see out of Shane this past weekend.
I think Shane wanted to see it keep drizzling for the whole race because
He was
he
leading.
was and driving away
Mm-hmm.
leading 7 seconds. And this is the thing I alluded to right off the top. We're like good on NASCAR for getting them out on the track and running this, but like they got to figure out a way to let these guys make the decision. I don't want to see them throw that competition caution and have non-competitive pit stops because for seemingly no reason, Shane Van Gisbergen lost a 7-second lead. And he could have come on and put slicks and they would have reeled him back in basically instantly. But
Yeah.
I get it. The pit road was still wet. It's a dangerous situation. Maybe it's something they can address in the offseason. If the NASCAR can just deem the track wet and they have to run a lower speed limit on pit road or something, and maybe modify the rules. If it's a wet track, you can't jump over the wall before the car stops. It would make a pit stop worth a lot of time on the racetrack.
Yeah.
And you'd take a risk, and it's not a road course. You run a chance of somebody spinning out, causing a big accident, and locking people a lap down. It's a tough situation. I just wish that NASCAR wouldn't hold their hands so much, get them through that.
Yeah, you gotta let these crews make the decision, but like you said, there's a lot of safety things that are also in the way of it too. We don't want any crew members getting hurt. We don't want anyone making a dumbass mistake like Carson Hocevar did on the pace lap. So,
But I think all in all, Shane is doing exactly what's expected of him. Again, you wish he'd get a few more points there, but I mean, he only comes away with 19, and some other guys behind him in the points had better days, but he's really only looking at that 60 car. And he had a 60 car at a good day, but 60 car is not usually putting up 38-point days. So.
Yeah. Yep. So it's gonna be a nail biter at Daytona this weekend. That's for sure. All right, Ross Chastain, he had a mechanical issue that took him out of this one. Not what he needed, so he will not be making the chase this year at all. So it's just crazy to say that the only car from Trackhouse making the chase is Shane Van Gisbergen. That's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Well, possibly.
You'd expect Ross to be the one that they're chasing, and Shane to get his flowers on the road courses, of course, and whatnot. But Shane's been kind of been fine everywhere, and Ross is just they started way behind, and then these gremlins just keep catching up to him. And like it sounds like this one they just sucked something up into the engine, and it just kind of blew up on him. So
yeah, still not completely sure on what caused it.
Yeah, it's tough.
All right, and then it looks like all the big losers is Trackhouse Racing, because then we have Connor Zilich wrecking after locking up his tires from trying to avoid Riley Herbst spinning into the wall and just completely smashes into his front end. Connor Zilich said it himself, that was his own dumbass mistake. The spotter was telling him to go low, he locked it up and just couldn't do anything about it. We've all been there in the NASCAR games or iRacing and all that. It's just human error right there, baby.
The spotters are never as on top of it in the NASCAR games or in iRacing as they are there, and it looks pretty bad for him to be like wrecking, go low, go low, go low, go low, go low. Yes, he had the visual block of Austin Dillon in front of him. But like, man, don't just, as Denny was saying, he goes, as soon as you see smoke, just lift. You know there's going to be a caution. It's okay. Like, you don't have to try to drive through the wreck or whatnot. Maybe he wasn't, but he locked it up and he got into the brakes. This one, there's been a few on Connor that have not been his fault, but this one is really bad.
Yep, 150% his fault right there.
But guess what? He doesn't care.
Hey, he's going to Hendrick Motorsports in 2 years,
He's a
man.
Hendrick driver. This is all part of the learning process, and Trackhouse has to rebuild a car, and Rick Hendrick gets to say, "Yeah, thanks for developing him another year."
Right?
He won't be wrecking cars when he gets to my shop. So
yeah, that's for damn sure. All right, and then we just got one race left in the regular season, and it's getting close. We got Bubba Wallace, Austin Cindric, and SVG on the cutoff line. They are not safe going into Daytona, and we know that Ryan Preece, really the only one looking on the outside, I would say, has a realistic chance in getting on. I don't think there's any way Brad Keselowski can get in here. So it's really just look out for Ryan Preece this weekend and see if he can make his way in to give RFK a shot at a championship.
yeah, and we'll look out for Brad and Chris to help Ryan achieve that goal. So, and RFK cars are fast at Daytona early in the year. So we know that the handling's different. The other huge wrinkle that we haven't spoke about yet is the aero changes that they're bringing to this race car. They're cutting the spoiler off. They lowered the horsepower a little bit, but nobody knows what's going to happen, and there's no practice. So who knows what we're going to see when we eventually go do this? But there's from what I hear, there's drivers saying it won't change anything. Some are saying you'll be able to go make moves again. I guess time will tell, but I think Ryan Preece has the power of his teammates on his side to help him get there. Bubba Wallace, he'll be fine. All those Toyotas will make sure he gets some stage points and kind of lock that up.
And Bubba's just good at these kind of tracks too.
Yeah, for sure. So a little worried for Shane. Don't want him to get over his head. He's basically got to come out and finish the race. Maybe try to get some stage points, but he's got to pull the Denny Hamlin tactic if he feels it gets too squirrely out there, and he's just got to drop off the end.
That would be the smart thing to do. Yeah.
So he has to see the checkered flag in this one. So I think it will be interesting too, with this being the cutoff race, that middle pack, that 5th to 10th area, who can make gains and get those extra points for the reseeding. Because the points for this race don't really matter, other than the fact that if you can jump up a couple positions, you gain 10 points on the field for the chase. So even if these guys are locked in, they're not locked into their spots, and that'll be an interesting dynamic to see throughout the day too. And I hope that NBC covers it well.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, NBC usually does a standout job with that kind of stuff. And yeah, I love Daytona being the last race of the regular season. It just makes things so exciting.
Yeah, that's one of the old school things that they're not going to go back to. And the city of Daytona Beach does not want this race to be on the 4th of July anymore. They're like, we would combine 2 big tourist weekends into one thing. We don't want to do that. So I think this race is here to stay on this block for the foreseeable future, and I think it's great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of it. All right, guys. Well, we are going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be making our picks for Daytona. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back, everybody. We are going to be making our picks for Daytona this weekend, and we got the O'Reilly Series and the Cup Series running. So let's kick off with the O'Reilly Series with the Winn-Dixie 250-mile race, 100 laps. Stages 1 and 2 are 30 laps each, and the final will be 40 laps. A shared winner last year with Connor Zilisch and Parker Kligerman.
Right.
Yep, going to victory lane. Austin Hill won this past February, so keep an eye out for either Junior Motorsports or RCR coming here, because Chevrolet has 17 wins topping the charts for all manufacturers at Daytona. So, Tom, let's make our pick here, buddy, and I am up first. I got to go with the super speedway man of Austin Hill. How can you not?
I tell you, I like the pick, other than from what I saw at Atlanta. And for whatever reason, those RCR engines did not have what it takes. They did not look as dominant at Atlanta. And I know Daytona is quite a bit different. I was hesitant. I was picking second. And spoiler alert, I didn't go with an RCR car. So, but I still think Austin Hill is such a good driver, and he, especially at this style, he's up there with the greats. He's figured it out in this series. He knows how to block lanes. He knows how to take the runs. And hell, there, even when everybody's saying don't help Austin Hill, don't help Austin Hill, he finds his way to the front,
Yeah,
and that's fascinating.
people are going to work with him because he knows his way up front.
So I get it. If you got the first pick, you go into Daytona, Talladega, you got to pick Austin Hill. He's got to be a part of it.
Yeah. So who do you got for Daytona then?
I'm thinking about the bigger picture and every aspect of all this, and I thought I got to go with a junior motorsports guy. And I'm thinking super speedway team orders. They're going to be trying to get all their guys as high up in the points as possible. And I'm looking down there, and 14th cutoff line is 12th, Raja Caruth. That 88 car went to victory lane here last year. I think Junior Motorsports is going to try to push that 88 car to victory.
Yeah.
And vault them up into the playoffs.
He's only 15 points below the cutoff line. There are quite a few drivers that are not safe going into Daytona here, so this is gonna be a wild race here with all these guys trying to get into the chase here. Because
Junior Motorsports would love to knock another Gibbs car out of the chase. They would love to do it.
yeah, because I'd say right now it would only be Taylor Gray and Raja Caruth that have a chance on getting into the chase right here. So if I was William Sawalich and Brent Cruz, I would be oh so worried right now. But
yeah, that cut line is both Sawalich and Brent Cruz. You pass one, you pass both of them. So that's important.
Yeah,
they're tied.
It's just gonna be so much fun watching these guys, and we got the William Sawalich and Brent Cruz. They're gonna be bringing the heat to Daytona, man. They got to do everything they can because they also got WWE on their car as well, so they'll be bringing SmackDown out there. Dude, it was so funny.
Do you remember where Brent Cruz was for the spring Daytona race?
Was he
spotting? In the O'Reilly series. He was on a pit box because he wasn't old enough.
Yeah.
Now he's got to go out there on Daytona with probably minimal practice. I'm sure he's done a lot of time in the sim, but I'm not sure that I'd trust Brent Cruz to make the best decisions just because he hasn't been in these situations before. And he's out there going to be fighting for his life, trying to go get this playoff spot. So that's a car I'm going to watch very closely. But yeah, my pick's going to be Raja. I think Raja has the capability to do it, and I think it would be a big win for him career-wise to get him into this chase commentary.
All right. Yeah, I think that is a fantastic pick right now. We're still waiting for Nick's pick, but we will keep you guys updated on what that will be. So how about we roll into the Cup Series?
The Great Unknown.
The Great Unknown with the Coke Zero 400. Got a 400-mile race. It is 160 laps. Stage 1 is 35 laps. Stage 2 is 60. And the final is 65 laps. Last year's winner was Ryan Blaney, and Tyler Reddick won the 500 back in February. So let's get into our picks. Tom, Nick is up first, actually, and he did pick... Who the hell did he pick?
He picked Ryan Blaney.
Ryan Blaney. I mean, he's just been so hot this year. This summer, really. He's been the number 2 guy.
Yeah, I think it is an excellent pick. Especially, you can't ignore him with his performance from Atlanta and how he kind of dominated that race. Again, different beast than this big track, but the unknowns of this, it made it so hard to make a pick. I was like, hey, it could be anybody. I mean, it just kind of depends on who comes out in front in that last pit stop, or that's how it's been. So who can manage their strategy well? But if these guys can suddenly pull out a line and not get the parachute pulled on them, it's a different ballgame. And then you're looking at other drivers that can have success and know the success, like a Denny Hamlin, like a Bubba Wallace. So, but Blaney was also good at that style of super speedway racing too. So I think Blaney is not only a good pick, it's a safe pick because he's had success in both kind of iterations.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So who is your driver to win the last race of the regular season?
I'm going to go with Bubba Wallace. I think, frankly, even though he's not safe, I think the pressure's off and he wants to go make a statement heading into the chase. I think he's going to go ahead and pull out the win here.
Yeah, why not? Why not 2311 to sweep Daytona for the year?
I think that'd be a great thing.
Yeah,
and maybe it'll be Corey Heim, and I'll have egg on my face, but they would still be sweeping Daytona.
Yeah, they would be. All right, and then my pick, I got to go with another guy who is just white hot right now, and that is that 22 car at Joey Logano. He is on a hot streak right now, and pointed his way into the chase with his performance this summer. And yeah, Joey Logano, he's just good at super speedway racing. He's won at Daytona. He's won at Talladega. He knows how to work through the draft here. But the thing with Joey Logano at super speedways is when he gets on your bumper, you better hold on to that wheel because he will spin you out, man. Too many times we have seen Joey Logano on the last lap in second place, and he's wrecked either his teammate or another driver out here. So I'm going for Joey Logano. Checkers or wreckers, baby. Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, what has he got to lose? A couple spots in the chase that he wasn't even slated to be in a month ago.
Exactly. So, he's already locked in. Who cares?
What a meteoric rise for the point standings. And again, it shows you the power of winning. He comes out here, he wins a couple races.
It's power of consistency, honestly.
Yeah, for
sure. And that's something that we haven't really seen from Joey in the playoff era of NASCAR was consistency.
He didn't have to be.
No.
He didn't have to be. And we were kind of seeing it already. They were not good. They were not good to start the season. And again, the talk was like, is he even going to make it to 16th? But again, that's the other argument. It was like, well, he wouldn't have won the championships if it weren't for that format or whatever. And it's like, well, yeah, but he also would have raced them all differently too.
Yeah, right.
He is a talented driver, and he did what he had to do.
That's the thing about Penske and just Joey Logano is that they can adapt. If you throw a wrench in their way, they're going to find a way to work around it. And they are. And Joey Logano, I mean, I know he's ninth in the standings, but he just keeps trending upwards. Who's to say he doesn't win the championship this year? Yeah.
I'll say it. He's not going to win the championship this year. It doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense in my head. And I'll have to do something horrible to myself if he does.
Makes sense to me.
Not anything like that, but like I'm just saying, like go try to eat a whole deep dish pizza or something. Like just punish myself for being so steadfast and headstrong and wrong.
If Joey Logano wins the championship, you're gonna go sit down and eat an entire family style deep dish pizza.
Yeah, I'll take a video of that. We can put that on the channel too.
There you go.
That's going to be the most embarrassing. It's just going to be me in silence, maybe every once in a while, like cursing his name and ranting about how stupid this is. And the video will be however long it takes me to eat that damn pizza.
Yeah, okay, just be ready to eat your words and the pizza.
Yeah. My words are deep dish pizza, and I will eat my words if. Oh man, I'm thinking about
if hell freezes over.
I'm thinking about how horrible of an experience that would actually be. Because for my people not from the Chicagoland area, you don't just sit, like I could go to a bar and get a thin crust pizza and knock out that whole thing. I've done that before.
Yeah.
I'm never going to a Lou Malnati's or a Giordano's and be like, I'm going to get a large pizza and eat the whole thing myself. No.
I can only eat like two. Two slices.
2 slices, yeah. How horrendous of an experience that will be. So I need to stand by this. Whatever we got to do, stop Joey Logano from winning the championship. Jesus Christ! And that'll start with him not winning Daytona. He's not going to win Daytona.
All right. Well,
why not?
Tom is calling it now. And I'm calling that he's going to eat an entire family-sized deep dish.
I tell you, somebody who's spiraling that runs well at these tracks, that needs to have a good run, and that's the 77.
Yes.
My gut, when we were discussing picks earlier, my gut told me Daniel Suarez for some reason. But again, it's just like, it's the unknown. But that 77 car needs to have a quiet day, and he needs to finish and stay going the same direction the whole time. He was 5th in points 4 weeks ago.
Yep.
He's 11th now. He's just pissed away all that stuff. And for what? Taking a swipe at Connor Zilic on the front stretch and spinning yourself out?
Honestly, this all kind of started when Corey Haim got in his head at Indy.
Yeah. You're very right.
Really think about it.
You're very right. It has gone downhill from there. And his swagger and his charm are not helping him. And now he doesn't know where he's at. He needs to go out there and stay focused on the prize and focused on the checkered flag. Make the smart moves. And again, I don't think Quiet Day and Carson Hocevar run on the same rails. Like, that doesn't make sense.
No.
But he needs to go out there and make the smart moves and make the highlights be about his driving and not about his actions or what's in his head. So I'm concerned for Carson that the pressure of being that high up in points is really getting to him. Plus, again, Corey Haim is going to get here too. And guess who's in this race?
Yeah, Corey Haim.
Can you imagine a Corey Haim, Carson Hocevar 1-2 finish, or like
that'd be Carson crazy.
Hocevar
See them come
wrecks off the nose of Corey Haim coming to the line. Like,
that'd be wild.
Oh my God.
This is just going to be a rivalry for decades. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Cars that I'm not expecting or not picking to win, but going to be watching very closely. Going to be Brent Cruz in the O'Reilly Series, Carson Hocevar in the Cup Series.
And I got to agree with you on Daniel Suarez. I mean, he's really turned into like a big super speedway guy. I mean, we saw his finish at Atlanta a few years ago with the three-way going across the finish line there. So Daniel Suarez definitely, I mean, just Spire Motorsports as a whole, because Michael McDowell, he's so freaking good. Yeah. I mean, he's won a Daytona 500, so really any of these guys can come out here and win it.
Right. And it was a weird feeling. I was like, who am I going to pick for this race? Because I don't know. I didn't feel like an establishment guy was going to do it. But like, again, with the car changes, the unknown of that, who knows what we're going to see? And my gut was like, could Daniel Suarez do this? Why not? But then I went with Bubba Wallace anyway. So
yeah,
maybe I'll eat my words on that one too. But I'm going to keep an eye on the 7 car. I mean, what does Daniel have to lose? He's not going to gain too much more in the points.
Yeah, he's locked in, so it don't matter. We're going to have a points reset anyway.
Yeah, he's got even less of a chance of winning the championship than Joey does, just from consistency week to week. But he's been quietly sitting in this area in points the whole season.
Yeah.
Talking about consistency. Daniel Suarez and Spire Motorsports have been a good fit for each other. And maybe Carson needs to take some cues from his teammate about having quiet, solid days.
Yeah. That's the thing, too. They're just going to learn off of each other. Carson Hocevar, he's a young driver, but is he going to take in the knowledge? Because as of right now, he's really just more focused about his public image than he is about on-track activity at this point.
We've discussed it before on the show. He's marketable, and he's successful at selling T-shirts and making headlines and making memes, and he's playing the social media stuff right, which is an angle to take in this world. But if he wants to turn that around and turn all these fans and keep them around, he's going to have to start having some more consistent success on the track and not let guys like Corey Haim get into his head, and not let getting bumped off the corner with Connor Zilic cause you to freak out at him. You're getting raced, dude. You're getting raced hard, and they're doing much less to you than you do to all of them.
Yep.
And like again on the front stretch at New Hampshire, he spins across the nose of Connor. Nobody's expecting a wreck to happen like there with all these veterans, and so then more guys pile up into the wreck, and it ruins other guys' days. And they're not going to blame Connor Zilic for that. They're going to go back and see like this guy acted a fool, and now Joey Logano's spun out, and maybe he's got some underbody damage and whatnot. And like that's a veteran you don't want to piss off.
Yeah.
So like, and this is again, I'm not the first person to say all this, but this is inherently the problem with being Carson Osvar. If you alienate all of your friends and all of the people you need around you, they're not going to help you when you may need it most.
Yeah, exactly.
So, and I'm sure he's heard it a bunch of times. He'll figure it out in a few years, and he's under contract for a few years. So we'll see where it goes. But he's always growing, always evolving. It's just weird when he takes these gigantic steps backwards. Doesn't make sense. You think he's grown out of it.
Yeah.
And then
he still looks like he's that.
Spins it out on the pace lap. Like it's just weird activity.
Yeah, I mean, he still just looks like that idiot that was wrecking everybody at Phoenix in the championship race a few years ago. So,
but I do always think of the old trope in like advertising or whatnot. Those new Liberty Bibberty commercials that come out. They're like, I hate it. It's so stupid. Why are they leaning into this? And it's like, well, you're talking about it.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's kind of Carson Hocevar's attitude. That stunt at Indy he pulls just to flip off Corey Haim. Well, you're talking about it. Him gassing it up, passing the pace car, and spinning out in the rain. We're talking about it.
We're talking about it, but his results are not backing him up.
As long as he stays in the headlines, he'll take his warriors, his backers, his fans. They'll back him up, and they'll buy his T-shirts. And Spire will see that and be like, "Hey, man, you're making us a lot of content and a lot of revenue off the track. We'll keep you around."
Yeah, why not?
Cup Series. And he's still fast. He is fast, and he's capable.
Yeah.
Just scary. He's just got to bring it in. But you don't want to bring it in like Ross Chastain did, because Ross was doing all this stuff too. And then he got no from Mr. Rick Hendrick, and Ross has not been the same since.
Yeah. So
you don't want that to happen. And I don't think Spire is going to be the team that's going to do that to
No, they want their drivers to be who they are. They want them to keep their personalities, from what I've seen with the owner-driver relationship and the dynamic over there. So Carson, yeah, I mean, he can keep being the great marketable person he is, bringing in all these huge sponsors and all that, like Chili's and whatever, but he's just got to back it up on the track. He can't keep this shtick going on forever. But I mean,
he was for a bit.
He's was
just fallen off recently.
Yeah, but he just can't keep falling back into this cycle of like, oh, I'm looking like the best driver in the world. I did something stupid. Oh, now I suck again. Oh, and here I am on the rise again. I won. Oh, I did something stupid, and then he's back in that pit again.
Yeah, it's tough. So again, I'll be keeping an eye on him because I know he's going to be up at the front, and I know he's not going to have any friends.
Yeah. No one's going to work with him on those closing laps.
He needs to have a good points day, and just to build that, if anything, to give him confidence to go into the chase.
Yeah, some kind of momentum. We'll see. But all right, I think that will do it for us here at the Stock Car Spectacle. Guys, if you haven't yet, make sure to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and comment down below who you think is going to win this weekend and who is not going to make the chase. So comment down below on what you think. But that'll do
it. Also, comment some pizza toppings for me.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Yeah, and should it be Giordano's or Lou Malnati's? I more prefer Lou Malnati's. I think that's a better deep dish, but who knows?
We'll see. We'll see what we get up to. Don't comment anything weird. I want to eat a normal pizza.
Yeah, right. No pineapple or anything. All right, that'll do it for us, guys. Thanks for watching. I'm Ian Jortson.
I'm Tom Oblin.
And we'll see you guys next time. Enjoy Daytona.